Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio.
And today, we are talking about 10 things. Did we say 10?
Sure. I did more than 10, but I bet we can, pare it. I bet it'll get pared down.
Yeah. All right.
10 or so.
We'll talk about the things that we're never going to do again in Walt Disney World.
Yeah. This sounds negative, but it's all in good fun.
It's all in good fun. We've tried these things.
And it's just not for us.
It's just not for us.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And some of it will be very funny, I think.
Oh, yeah. Everything isn't for everyone, and if you don't enjoy it, hopefully you can get a good laugh out of it.
Yes.
Yeah. There's some stuff on here that I think are go-to things that people skip, maybe, or things that are frequently complained about at Walt Disney World.
Sure.
Have made it onto my list. Anyway.
Me too.
So at least out there, maybe you guys can relate to us prioritizing some other things over these when we take our trips into the parks.
Yeah. And I think prioritization is a big part of this, you know what I mean? And a reason I don't do some of these because there's so many awesome things at Disney World that I don't want to waste my time or money on some of these, but also, some of them just aren't for me, and I will explain why.
Of course.
Sometimes you've got a certain phobia or a certain thing that just irks you, and then you're like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, I can think of a couple of yours right off the bat that I think are gonna
Pop
land some attractions on the do not do list. I've also included on here, I don't know about you, I included a few restaurants on here that I'll never do again.
I have one. I'm interested to hear your others. I'll probably agree, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hey, keep listening if you want to hear what ends up on the Do Not Dine list. But before we dive into the list, we did want to give you guys a couple of reminders. Number one is that Morgan is a fabulous travel agent, planning trips for all kinds of vacationers. Morgan?
Yes. I am a free-to-you travel agent. I do Disney trips, Universal trips, and cruises. I mean, I can do other stuff too, but those are my main focuses, things that I have extreme expertise in.
Right.
But here's the thing. It costs you nothing. I'll get the same deal you can get yourself or better. I would do deal monitoring, and then I can help as much or little as you want, and you get free trip shirts from our Etsy shop, Neverland Navigation Etsy shop.
Woo-woo.
Yep, for your whole family. Or posters, depending on the trip. So you get a free gift, and your trip costs the same as it was going to cost you anyway, if you let me help. And if you don't need help with dining, and you don't need help with Genie Plus, and you don't need help with that, that's okay. I can just click the couple of buttons for you, and you still get free trip shirts.
Which is awesome. Morgan is not only a super knowledgeable travel planner, but also when we say these shirts, we're not talking about shirts that say, I booked my trip with Morgan Jones.
Oh, yeah. These are custom shirts that I'll make any way you like. And also, it's not vinyl. It's not scratchy, cheap cotton. You know what I mean? They're quality custom shirts.
A nice ink printed.
That I put whatever you want. Yeah.
Shirt,
The ones that I just made for the family that I booked recently that is taking a big Disney trip in July. Woo. They did different poster designs of their favorite ride for each person.
Cool.
So there's one of them has a Haunted Mansion poster, one of them has a Tron poster, one of them has the Little Mermaid poster.
Nice.
So that's going to make a phenomenal picture.
I love when people wear park shirts or group shirts that show the personality of the group a little bit. So that's awesome. I also love hearing about what people pick when they decide what shirt they want made for their vacation. That's a lot of fun on this end of it.
Yeah, so it is fun.
Fun for everyone.
It is fun. I always wind up having conversations with people about their favorite stuff too. But if you're interested in all of this, send me an email at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com. And I'll exchange contact. I'll give you my contact information if you want to talk outside of email, and we'll get going with the process.
Awesome. And if you're enjoying the show so far and you would like to help out in these last couple of seconds, if you enjoy the show and you would like to help out our channel, if you're watching, you can watch us on the YouTube version, the visual version of the show, on our YouTube channel, Neverland Navigation Co. And if you are watching there, hello, nice to see you. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Helps us out a lot. And if you're on an audio listening platform like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, then if you subscribe to the show, you'll always get our newest episodes in your podcast feed. And if you feel like leaving us a review, letting us know how you like the show afterwards, then that would also help us out a ton. It does a lot for us to help more people find the podcast. So
and help us keep going.
Yeah. Just wanted to get out of the way that if you feel like helping the show,
that's
channel,
the best thing you can do for us.
Yeah. That would super
like
help.
And subscribe. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, without further ado, Morgan, let's jump into this list. Now, I didn't really order these in any kind of way.
Same. There's not.
No. So I think we're going to be all over the place, but that's okay. I can start us off if you'd like.
Oh,
I've got one that I know I don't want to go back to.
Okay.
We're going to start in the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
It's a Main Street establishment.
Okay.
And it is the Plaza Restaurant.
Okay.
At the end of Main Street.
Okay.
Normally, when we do dining reviews, check out the Neverland Navigation YouTube channel for all kinds of dining reviews from throughout the parks. Normally, we like to give things a couple chances. We like to give it its due. But I could just tell from our one experience in this restaurant that I don't think I'm ever going to go back. We found the entire experience to be lackluster, just not what we were hoping for. We have had great dining experiences all throughout Walt Disney World, but even at the Magic Kingdom, we've had some great dining experiences, so we know what it can be. And the Plaza Restaurant is in this gorgeous location right at the end of Main Street, next to the ice cream shop there at the end. So we were kind of hoping for like a magical time.
I was thinking classic experience, like it's gonna feel like Disney history, which we love. Nah.
No.
It was just mediocre.
It was just some restaurant.
It was just some restaurant that we were paying too much for.
Yes. And it's not super highly priced by Disney standards anyway, but we still did find it to be overpriced for the food that they were serving. Now, the fare here is very typical, like American go-to kind of classics. Chicken sandwiches and hamburgers.
Right.
And there's some like pasta stuff. So we tried a variety of things. We found the food to be underwhelming, pretty basic, like chain food, but maybe not even to the quality that you might expect from that.
Yeah.
And we found the inside to be kind of like drab and need of refurbishment, maybe.
Yes, right. You can do a historical look without it seeming outdated. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it just, I don't know.
It felt dusty in there.
Yeah, he's right. I didn't put this on my list, but I definitely agree. The food was mediocre. The inside wasn't. It didn't really. I wish that if they're gonna make it seem like, oh, this is classic. We're serving Walt's favorite kinds of foods, which I think at one time that was kind of the vibe of this restaurant.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I don't get that as much anymore, and I would love to have more history in the restaurant if that's going to be its thing.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any. You know what I mean? When I went to the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco, they had on the wall where Walt had written down some of his favorite meals. It would be very cool for this restaurant to have those meals and have a picture of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yes, and because what he had written, it was like a note or memo or letter or whatever to a new chef that they had in their house. You know, like towards the end of his life, he had a lot of money, and so he had somebody that prepared his meals, and he was letting them know what he liked. And I feel like this, with just little tweaks, could be like that and feel like, oh, Walt history.
What a great idea for a Disney World restaurant. It's just like a tribute to Walt.
Because it's already kind of got the turn of the century kind of vibes, and don't you think?
The actual space.
Yes.
The walls and the tables and everything. Yeah, it does lend itself to that,
like
classic,
maybe his era. Yes, exactly.
Style.
So I think that there's opportunity for improvement. And if I found out that they were doing anything different, I would try it again.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is we thought we'd be able to see the castle or the fireworks from this location.
Right.
It's right there at the end of Main Street, and we didn't. So that was a total letdown also.
Yeah, that is definitely a little bit of a bummer. And it's not like we got unlucky. It's like you will never have a chance to experience that from this restaurant.
That's just not happening there. So don't think that like you could time it or something.
Then maybe, don't.
Yeah.
Just abandon all hope.
Yes.
For that
there are some definite better options for dining in Magic Kingdom. I would choose a quick serve over this.
Oh, there are some quick serves that come to mind that I would much rather eat at than this restaurant.
Yes, or I would snack around Magic Kingdom maybe. You know what I mean? I would leave and go. We won't even go into that.
Right. There's a lot of options. Don't do yourself the disservice of picking one
Eating
of these.
Here. Yeah. And I mean, there's nothing fun for kids either. Sometimes.
No, not really.
Like one of the ones, the restaurant on my list at least has characters. So you could say, well, I have to go because my child is obsessed with Winnie the Pooh. Spoiler alert. But with this one, your kid's not going to care.
No characters. The most fun you can have here is really overpaying for one of those.
For a burger.
Yes, and they also have like that kitchen sink ice cream.
Do they have that there?
Yeah, I don't.
But you can go next door and get that.
You can go next door and get that, and it's not the actual kitchen sink. It's just a really big sundae with like a bunch of ice cream in it.
There's better places to get that.
Absolutely.
There are multiple places in Walt Disney World to get that. Let me say.
Don't let that be the thing that makes you say. Anyway, I don't want to harp on it for too long, but that's why it's on my list. Was just because we thought there were opportunities for it to be a little bit more magical. That's all.
Yeah. We rank our restaurants in 4 different categories, and this one was ranked poorly in all of them.
One of our worst.
Yeah.
One of our worst.
Yeah.
And we were actually expecting it to be just fine. We were expecting it to be decent.
I booked it at a time where I was like, oh, we're gonna get to see the fireworks from here.
I know, we really thought it was gonna be magical.
It wouldn't make sense for you not to see the fireworks from there, but it does not. You will not.
Are there any fans of this restaurant out there? I would love to hear if someone has had a really, really good experience.
Yeah,
here.
You'd have to tell us what to try.
Yeah, that would be really
So you would go back if somebody talked you into it.
Well, there's basically, if one of the people who are following us online commented that they had some kind of magical experience, I'd basically do anything again.
Same.
I'm not the type of person
there's a ride I'm not doing again, even if somebody tells me they love it.
Okay, I actually I do have one on here that I don't think I could be talked into now though. Looking at my list.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but let me can I jump to mine?
Yeah.
Because it's related, and it's basically across the street.
Okay. All right.
So I already spoiled this, but my restaurant that I'm not going back to unless they update the menu or somebody tells me, I don't know what you could tell me that you loved here because I've been here multiple times. It's a buffet, so it's not like I didn't order the right thing.
Right.
And that's Crystal Palace. And I love Winnie the Pooh and Tigger too. So, I guess it might get points for that. Like I just said, if your kids are obsessed with Winnie the Pooh, you might need to go ahead and go. Probably breakfast would be better than dinner. Dinner is very expensive and very lackluster.
Isn't that really the thing that does it?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's like the death nail, if it's really expensive on top of being.
Yes. Yours was a better choice though because of it being bad in all of the areas. And this one, I would be fine with it if it were like $35 a person or $30 because maybe 35, maybe 40, but it's like 60.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's crazy. But the food, the best thing on the menu is peel shrimp, and you know what I mean?
It's just a big, and when you start multiplying that 60 across your
family, holy cow,
it starts to really
tax,
sink in
tip,
that
yeah. I did like the character interactions there. I do like the location. So this one would score heavily on everything except for value and quality of food.
Is there something that if they said they were rehauling the entire menu starting from the ground up, that would get you back?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't mind spending the money if the food is quality and the food is great and, everything
Oh
else
yeah,
too.
we've done a bunch of those,
Yeah. Yeah. I'll pay top dollar for like Topolinos. Snow White's is a great example.
Mm.
Crazy expensive. Like for my family, I'm walking away with a $200 bill. Storybook dining at Artist Point with Snow White. Disney, do you think that people are remembering these names?
We're not calling it that.
Yeah.
I think you just called it Snow White, which
yes.
is
Can we go to the Snow White restaurant?
I'm down with that. That's better than Enchanted.
It's not like you're confused.
Yeah. Right. But you're saying that one, at least it's expensive.
That one I've been to multiple times in the past couple of years because the food quality is amazing. Mm-hmm. I don't get that bill and go, oh my God, what? Yeah, like it's the same price as Crystal Palace, but the food at Crystal Palace was mediocre at best, and the food at Snow White's was really good, and I left feeling satisfied, and like I kept saying yum during the meal. Everybody was impressed. Yeah, so that's that. Gotcha. So yes, they would have to redo the menu for me to go back to Crystal Palace.
That makes sense.
I'm only talking about dinner, you guys. Yeah. I haven't done breakfast in like 10 years, so I can't talk about it.
We should do breakfast there.
But I think that I've looked at the menu, it looks pretty basic. So I'm worried it's going to be the same thing. A little bit less expensive, though.
Right. It's not so bad of a hit.
Yeah.
Than spending $60.
Still a pretty big hit.
A person. Yeah. You never want that feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That's our Main Street edition.
Yeah. Wow. We both started.
Can you believe? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot to talk about. I'm actually staying in the Magic Kingdom for my next one as well.
Okay.
This is just. It's not that I don't find this to be worthwhile for someone. I'll just say it. It's the Swiss Family Treehouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. I have a few like this where I'm not saying don't do it. Yeah, I'm not saying don't do it once. I didn't not enjoy my one experience, but I'm not doing it again because it's a one and done. Go on.
Yeah.
You're not knocking it. You're not knocking its history.
No, it's cool.
I don't want you to feel bad.
I appreciate that.
As like Disney history nerds that we are.
No, yeah. And that's actually the part of this that I really enjoy because I feel like this being an Adventureland and Adventureland being rooted in Walt's like True Life Adventure series and the Swiss Family films being kind of in that same genre of like adventure exploration films. I actually feel like it fits really soundly in the like narrative of Adventureland.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's there.
Do you think it's better to be Swiss Family versus Tarzan's?
That's a great question. In Disneyland, it was Tarzan's Treehouse for a long time. Now it's Adventureland Treehouse no IP, which is interesting.
Interesting.
I don't think it really matters one way or the other, to be honest.
Neither was super appealing.
Because it's all basically the same kind of attraction, which is if you've never been, you're in good company. A lot of people skip it.
Yeah.
We call it Stairs the attraction because that's all it is you climb a bunch of flights of stairs and you can look at diorama scenes basically of like a bedroom or a desk or a piano or whatever, and it's meant to be the tree house where the family Robinson spend their days. And it's a very old school kind of attraction because it is technically, I guess you could say, a walkthrough attraction in that you try to get the story of it by walking through it.
Right.
But that's it. There's no water effects, no grand payoff or anything. This is truly just an old school walk into the tree, see some stuff, and leave type of thing.
Yeah.
And for that reason, and for the reason of I tend not to
take 10 flights of stairs.
Take stairs without needing to take stairs. It's just, if this were the Swiss Family escalator or the Swiss Family elevator, then maybe. But yeah, it's just not something I'm doing a ton. I do know people get interesting vantage points of the fireworks from here. So if you're one of those people...
Are they hanging out up there for the whole fireworks show?
I don't know for the whole fireworks show. Maybe they're just climbing up there to get some good peaks of fireworks.
You can get some good views from up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really nice scenic view from that high up, interesting vantage point of the park. But unfortunately, that is not enough to draw me up the Swiss Family Robinson stair.
Yeah, I could see this being like a one and done. You know what I mean? I think I've probably done this in my life.
Yes.
Maybe like 4 times.
I think I could count on one hand the amount of times I've been up there. Honestly, I think I've been once as a kid and once as an adult.
Okay.
And I don't think I'll ever do it again.
Yeah, you don't need to. I mean, unless they add stuff, and then we'll just have to because we have to see it.
Yeah.
But I do think it might be important for the landscape. You know what I mean? Like we said, we're not saying they should take it away.
No.
Don't mishear us. Yeah. We're not saying they should take it. It's just it was a one and done for you.
Yeah, it's just not, and not everything in Walt Disney World needs to be 40 specifically.
Right.
Or an e-ticket, whatever. It's cool that there's random stuff to explore.
We go on Living with the Land all the time, you guys.
we put in our miles on Living with the Land. All right.
So we're not saying we're only doing e-ticket.
Right, exactly. It's just this, I could take it or leave it.
Okay, are you wanting to stay in park and then just hop parks?
Whatever.
Okay, because I definitely have a few more. Actually, half my list is in Magic Kingdom.
Really?
Holy cow.
We're never going again. We don't even like
Well, yeah, I do hate leaving.
Yeah.
Like the whole monorail line sardine situation.
That can be treacherous.
But that's not making my list because, I mean, you have to,
You're forced
to leave. Yeah. Yeah, I have a bunch in Magic Kingdom, so maybe we should hop around.
Well, sure, yeah. Take me anywhere.
Okay, I will say, I don't know what to do next. Here's a one and done for me, right? And again, this is another one that has its place. Mm-hmm. This is just like like the treehouse for Jake.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying that I don't think little kids should have this to experience, or that anybody that loves this kind of thing. But I'm one and done with the petting zoo aspect of Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Whoa.
And they used to have a petting zoo in Toontown.
Right. I forgot completely about this, but okay.
It does still exist, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is Rafiki's Planet Watch? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people who have maybe seen the sign or seen it on the app.
I bet a ton of people don't experience it because we barely experience it because it's only open half the day.
Right.
When Animal Kingdom is already so, like, Animal Kingdom closes at 7 and this closes at like 3 some days.
So you basically
gotta
to be
rope drop.
Yeah, I'm rope dropping.
Rafiki's Planet Watch. Rafiki's Planet Watch is where you take a little train ride to an area that may or may not be called Conservation Station.
Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
Okay. And there's a petting zoo, and then there are some like areas where you can see animals that are being medically taken care of and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. There are areas where you can see reptiles, this kind of thing. Like, it's edutainment at its finest.
Yes.
I am all for that. I'm just not doing it again. It's just not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually, I just found out I do have to do it again because Michael's never been.
Really?
My husband's never been because it wasn't something that I'm like rushing to take him to. It's always closed when we go because I love going to Animal Kingdom in the evening because that's when other people start leaving.
Yeah.
Anybody that's coming from out of town is doing Animal Kingdom in the morning and then switching to another park because they're open later.
Right.
So we try to do it in the evening, and then that stuff's closed.
Exactly. And you get like some light lines and
stuff. Yeah, we're going to have to. And this kind of thing, it's funny because I was asking him, my husband's super like positive and happy about anything, like roll with whatever, like he's just happy.
Yes,
and I was
positive,
I was telling him about this topic, and I was like, maybe I should read these to you and see if there's anything you would add. And he was like, no, I would do anything. I'm not going to be able to help you.
Well, that's fair. Are you saying that you would never do, if it were up to you, forget about the fact that you're taking like, because you've never been.
Yeah.
You're saying you would never do the petting zoo again, or you would never even get on this train ever again?
I don't like the petting zoo.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of petting zoos.
I don't love a petting zoo either.
Okay.
For me, the like smell and the anxiety of children not knowing like the rules is enough to keep me away.
Yes, right.
But I will say, one time at Rafiki's Planet Watch, maybe called Conservation Station. That's where they at Animal Kingdom had the animation class. Well,
and I wanted to do that.
Class.
It's a drawing class. I wanted to do that, and then it was just always closed by the time we got there.
Right.
Yeah. So no, I'm not saying I wouldn't go back there. Also, if you're a local or you just spend a lot of time at Disney, there are like the most hidden Mickeys back there of all of Animal Kingdom.
I have heard this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you have bought like one of these hidden Mickey books that like, I think it's David Barnett, I know it's on my bookshelf somewhere, writes, and you flip to the Animal Kingdom section, like the part from this area is just crazy. So going back there just to hidden Mickey hunt is fun. I don't like petting zoos. So I'm done with that.
That's fair. No petting zoos.
Yeah, if they put one in Toontown, I would walk by and wave. You know what I mean? Not Toontown. If they put one in Circus, you know what I mean? Like if they put one somewhere else, I'd still not go. Storybook Circus.
Yes. Yeah, I totally get that. There is really not a lot to draw me back there in general. And I don't even know if they're still doing that drawing class in there, so I don't know.
Yes, it was pre-COVID that I remember it. But yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if I would go back there much either, to be honest with you. Let's see. I have something Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of a little show called Feathered Friends in Flight?
Can you believe that's on my list too?
What? Really?
Are you joking?
No, Morgan hates birds.
Morgan is terrified of birds, is what he means.
Yes, that is what I mean. Morgan is not a bird hater. It's just
they're fine if they're doing their own thing and staying away from me.
But they can be aggressive. This was Flights of Wonder when it opened, and I went pretty often as a kid to this show. I guess I was not bothered by the birds. And then at some point this became Up, a Great Bird Adventure, and they like introduced Kevin and Doug and what's the name of the actual child from Up?
Okay. Well, Russell.
Russell.
I was like, I know all these.
That was pretty fast.
Thank you.
And Russell, they introduced some characters into the show.
I wanted to go when it was that themed, out like in spite of my fear, because I liked the idea of them making it Up themed.
Yeah.
But I still couldn't bring myself to do it. I find birds to be unpredictable in a way that scares me. I'm scared they're gonna poop on me. There's all the things. Go on.
Understandable. I went in with that same optimism, excited that it would be Up themed.
Oh, okay.
And it is the only thing I have ever walked out of halfway through.
Oh no.
Walt Disney World.
Because why?
It was just so boring.
Oh no.
And it was so lackluster.
See, for you, it's not the fear. I've never even experienced it because I wouldn't, because I'm scared of it.
Right. It wasn't, we were okay with seeing the birds and stuff, but the friend that I was with, we were watching the show and we just kind of kept looking at each other, and halfway through we came to the mutual decision that it was not worth it anymore. But they have since changed it. They took out the Up elements and now it's back to being called Feathered Friends in Flight. I don't think I'll ever be back in that theater.
Was it funny?
There are jokes in it.
They were trying.
There are jokes in it. The original one, I think, was a little bit more like comedic than the later iterations. It always had like a conservation theme because that's, Animal Kingdom's whole thing. But I feel like it is more centered now on being responsible to the feathered friends in your life and conservation, and that is all a great thing, but there's no better historical proprietor of edutainment than the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah.
So if I am like bored to pieces during the bird show, then there's something wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make it...
Especially if you were seeing it when it was Up themed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Yeah, it was very... I mean, it had in general, it did not have a great reception. A lot of people didn't like it.
Clearly, because they changed it. And I'm shocked that they would take away the Up theming.
I know.
Because for the most part, what they do is they add IP, they add IP, they add IP.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Up is a really good fit for Animal Kingdom. I love the Wilderness Explorers and them, providing that game.
Kevin
for
walking
children.
around. Yeah.
I love Kevin walking around. All of that is great, but it didn't work for this show, so I just don't think I'll be back.
Okay, that makes sense. I definitely won't either.
Okay, good. I will not see you there.
Yeah. All right. Am I picking something different from a different park?
Go for it.
Okay. Gosh. I will not be going back to Coral Reef Restaurant in Epcot.
Whoa.
Unless they change the menu.
Okay. Got it.
Which is unfortunate because I really like the ambiance in there.
Yeah.
I like the aquarium. I don't mind eating fish in front of fish. I just like it. It's really beautiful in there.
Yeah. It's also like I think there's something really classic Epcot about the ambitious concept of like the raked the platform floor and the like wavy walls of aquarium. It's like otherworldly in there in a cool way. I know that you've been and you haven't been impressed with
multiple times. Yeah, the food's just not good.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, the service last time wasn't good either, which was just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just another thing. So shocking but and I'm not gonna really super go into it. It's just not good enough. I will go back if they change the menu. That's true of all these dining places.
Yeah, hopefully it's also never busy over there.
Right.
So hopefully
they get the idea.
At some point they take the hint and they do a little refresh. And like you said, it doesn't have to be anything major, but sometimes a little sprucing up of the menu can go a long way.
I think they should put a celebrity chef in there.
That would be amazing.
I mean, not like in there to hang out, but
meet and greet. No, to like shake up the menu.
Yes,
that would be really cool. They do use ingredients from Living with the Land in that restaurant sometimes, I've heard.
Yeah,
which is awesome. It would be cool if they could
make them good.
But do something nice with them. That would be great. I've never eaten there, but Morgan has tried it several times
him out of it
and not made me excited to go. So I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do a restaurant. Okay. I have on here a series of restaurants that I know Morgan will agree with me. It's called Sunshine Market Ranch.
Oh my god.
And it is the row of restaurants immediately in front of the Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. On Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
This is, there's a station for pizza.
What did you call it?
Sunshine Market Ranch? That might be wrong. Sunshine Ranch
When
Market.
You said Sunshine, I thought you were going to say Sunshine Seasons.
Oh, honestly,
there.
that might...
Don't go there either.
Yeah, that's not
That's
top
in the
of
land.
Either.
That's the, like, quick serves in the land.
We tried that again recently, and we were
unimpressed.
Yeah,
you're in the middle of Epcot, which is like foodie, central.
Right. Don't
do that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
not only was it like shopping mall food court vibes, but the food itself was like
worse than a food court.
Worse than that.
Yeah.
Which was kind of hard to believe.
And you could say the same about the restaurants that are on.
I was just about to say that. Unfortunately, that kind of is true of this as well, because they've got a kiosk for pizza, a kiosk for hamburgers and chicken sandwiches, and I think another one for hot dogs or something like that.
Fish, I think.
Oh, is that it? Yeah. It's like an assortment of bad restaurants all right in a row, just serving the most like basic.
When people complain about like theme park food, this is it.
They're spending $20.
Yeah, here it is. This row of restaurants. Same with the one in the restaurants in the land. They're the same. That's what I think when people will say, "Oh, theme park food," this is what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's this.
So don't waste your money.
The food quality, cafeteria, the food, the seating situation.
Worse.
Outdoors.
You're outside.
And guess what? There are Morgan's favorite friends here, birds, and they're trying to eat your french fries, and they're trying to steal your cup of ketchup.
Disney World might be the reason I'm scared of birds, because the birds in Disney World are like, they're not scared of you.
Well, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
They're so used to being loved and adored and fed
Yeah.
that now they're very comfortable pecking your shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say that we passed Daisy in Epcot, like all along the route, waving to some ducks, and it did warm my heart.
Oh, you like that?
Yes, I do like that.
You're okay with like a humanoid bird.
You mean like Daisy?
Like Daisy.
I mean, she was waving to some actual ducks.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're fine with Daisy, but if
those ducks like started flying at me, I would be up at the ground. I'd be on the ground.
Was it you or me? One time a bird almost killed one of us.
Yeah. I don't know. I say that frequently. I'll be like, we almost died.
What we had to duck because a bird was like flying right at one of us.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was tough. I don't remember where we were or what was going on, but
probably the boardwalk.
So something that we would never do at Walt Disney World again is interact with birds. Okay.
Don't antagonize the birds.
Yeah, it's worse if you tease them.
Yeah.
Don't provoke the animal.
I don't like sitting outside because of birds.
I know, and like situations like this where the food is not only bad, but then you're forced to sit outside.
And like you're on full alert.
You're on full alert. You're on full alert.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, that is, I mean, honestly, it doesn't help. Just being outside in Florida in general and having to contend with birds and sometimes bugs and whatever. I mean, it's not as bad as in Walt Disney World because they, try to take
the bugs aren't bad in Walt Disney World.
The bugs, the birds
for the most part.
The birds.
The birds are bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's just one of the restaurants that came to mind that I thought,
yeah,
well, if I never had another meal here, it'd probably be good.
For real, I agree.
It'd be better for my life.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm gonna go to you guys can comment and tell me that I'm wrong about this, but I'm not going back. And that is the Bugs Life ride. It's tough to be a bug.
Oh, yeah, it's on my list.
I'm happy if you like it. I'm not doing it again.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's going away.
That's true, but it's still there right now.
Right. If you wanted to, you could go on it right now.
Yes. But I don't know about time of airing because I don't know when it's going away. I just know it's going away soon.
Right.
But I'm not going.
What is it about this ride you dislike so heavily?
Okay. It's so funny because the first time I went on it, when we were leaving, I was like, I turned to Michael and I go, I hate bugs. I don't know why I would think that I would be okay with this.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind the movie. But there's a lot of like actual bug simulation. Like it's supposed to feel like roaches are scurrying under your seat. And there's like a stink bug smell. And it just, I don't want to feel like there's bugs on or around me. So this isn't for me.
Yeah. I think that's understandable. There's also a portion of this show where they like sting you in the back.
Yeah. What?
And
don't do that.
Actually like hurts. Which is really interesting.
Right.
Not usually something Disney would do. Yeah, this is like universally
almost universally disliked, yeah.
Almost universally disliked. If anything, I think this is probably the attraction where I've heard the most children scream, not in a having a fun time at Disney World kind of way, but in a genuine terror kind of way. At several points in the show, too, because there's one point where the Hopper animatronic manifests, and he is terrifying. And there's another scene where they spray bug spray all over you, and it's supposed to, like, kill you. That's intense. And then there are the physical effects that we've talked about that kids obviously are screaming during. So if you're sat next to a family, which you will be during this show, your ears, it might be a situation.
It's another thing. Yeah.
Right. It's tough to be someone watching. It's tough to be a bug.
Yeah. I really, really, really dislike it.
Yeah. I honestly think that one's understandable, and Disney has kind of confirmed that you're right.
Yay.
By getting rid of it,
Yes.
They've admitted defeat.
It was there for a long time though.
A really, really long time. Under the icon of the park and like the prime real estate of Animal Kingdom. Isn't
Absolutely.
that wild?
Yes.
Yeah. I've got a show on here. This is something I will probably never do again. It is the Mickey Shorts Theater This is in Hollywood Studios in the theater that used to be home to Sounds Dangerous, starring Drew Carey, which was like an audio only entertainment experience. In this theater, they play a Mickey Mouse cartoon called Vacation Fun on repeat, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've done this. If I did it, it was just so unmemorable that I just don't remember it, and I never feel like, even when everything else is so busy that I'm not going to go on anything, I don't go, oh, we should go do this.
Still not enough to get you into a room to literally watch a cartoon for 5 minutes.
Right.
That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah.
And it's not even like at Epcot recently, we experienced the Pixar Film Festival, which was cute, short film festival.
I like it.
Yeah, it's cute. It's like it's not a crazy show-stopping anything, but
No.
it's like it's a short show where they show 3 short films, and there are added effects like movement in the ground, and there's like vibration and sound and 3D and all kinds of stuff that they add to kind of jazz it up. This is just a cartoon.
Right,
just
right.
a cartoon.
The Epcot Pixar one, I feel like, is elevated enough from you just sitting at your house and watching a cartoon and you're in nice AC. It qualifies as a, if I've got time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that one, no.
Or you need like an emergency air conditioning
which
break
happens
right now, which nobody here would fault you for because Florida is that kind of state.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one I would honestly say it would be better to dip into, while you're in Hollywood Studios, you could dip into One Man's Dream, the Walt Disney Presents showcase there. That's a cool little space where you can also maybe preview a movie that's going to be coming to theaters soon or something like that. Or better yet, just watch Muppet Vision 3D.
I knew he was going to say that. I'm like, here comes Muppet Vision 3D. I almost said it. I'm like, I'm going to give this to him.
Just visit the Muppets.
Yes, that's that's like 20 minutes of air conditioning, right?
Yeah, maybe more than that. Depends on how close to showtime you are.
Whether you get the full pre-show.
Yeah, because that's a long pre-show as well.
Star Tours is also a pretty reliable short line for a nice ride, nice air conditioning.
Yeah, that is nice. I have noticed the actual motion simulator can be a little hot when you're riding Star Tours, the actual vehicle.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's a bunch of people crammed, like, literally elbow to elbow.
All right, so maybe that's not a air conditioning.
No, but every time I do walk into the line, the queue portion of that, it is so nice to get that, like, blast of AC.
But Muppet Vision's the answer.
Well, there's just, honestly, any of those I think are a better use of your time than Mickey short theater. That's kind of just, they could be doing something more interesting with that space, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially since it used to be home to something kind of unique. I know it wasn't like a fan favorite that Drew Carey, that Sounds Dangerous
it fit
attraction.
Perfectly with the Hollywood movie magic, theming though.
Yes, I knew. Yes, that's very true. It definitely fit into the movie making of it all with its like sound production theme. So that was always really interesting. And I also just liked that they were doing something that wasn't like any of the other shows. It was like a completely original concept, and it had a post show, which is cool, like an experience you could do afterwards. And all of that is cooler than what's going on there now. So for me, it's very skippable.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I'm getting into... Well, no, I'll go to Enchanted Tales with Belle at Magic Kingdom.
Ooh.
I know this one, some people are going to like this. I get it.
What is this?
It's not for me. This is a show. It's by Be Our Guest. It's in New Fantasyland. And it's interactive. It's kind of small group, if that makes sense. Kind of hard to explain, to be honest. I can't think of anything else that's like this.
Yeah, you know what it's like? It's like that part in the Rise of the Resistance queue where they take a section of you and put you in the interrogation chamber.
Sure,
It kind of feels like that, where you're like...
Yeah, it's that size group. Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
And then they pick some people to, like, act in this show.
Oh, I forgot there's audience participation involved.
Yeah, this is where they lost me. Also, you're standing. I don't know. It's just, I was worried about getting picked.
Of course.
Then I was bored at the show.
Oh, no.
I'm sure you know who it's really fun for? The people that are in it that wanted to be in it and their family members.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then not so much for everybody else.
And maybe like kids who are like enchanted by. There are a couple special effects in there that are cool, that are interesting. There's a very impressive talking Lumiere, I want to say, in that. That's pretty cool. But apart from that, I get that this is maybe. I will say it is unlike almost anything else.
Sure.
Disney doesn't really do this very often, like have an interactive. Instead of it feels to me that instead of having a normal meet and greet type of situation, they wanted to try out like an interactive storytelling experience with the characters, and that sounds like your personal hell.
Yes,
like
exactly.
It sounds like it was designed to torture you.
Yes.
So
yes.
I 100% understand why this is on your list, and I have never been. So like I know I can't go with Morgan. I have most of my friends are in the same boat as Morgan.
Oh, Tori would go with you.
They're not like super into the crowd participation. Yeah, my friend Tori would go with me. We don't really go to the Magic Kingdom that often anymore these days, but
because of the monorail leaving situation.
Yes, and because that park is just so crowded now, and neither of us can ever go on weekdays right now, so the weekends are just tough. But I would like to get in there at some point just to see the effects. But I honestly think I would have the same issues. Anytime there's at Walt Disney World a thing where either adults or children can be picked for something, it makes me nervous because I don't want to be picked and like take that opportunity away from like a child. It makes me anxious to think that is happening.
Yeah.
So that alone is enough to kind of make me not even want to go in there.
Right.
So I get it.
My level of like nervousness when it comes to this kind of thing is if I'm in a theater of hundreds of people and there's like a magician or something asking for volunteers and I'm like really far away and up in the balcony, I'm like nervous to get picked.
Ducking.
So in this situation where there's only like, I don't know, 20 people or whatever, I'm like dying.
I can feel that anxiety.
If you, yeah, I don't know how many people are in there. Don't hold me to that number. But yeah, not for me. If you like that kind of thing, might be for you.
I get it.
When we go for Tiana's, you and Michael could go.
Oh,
we'll do anything.
Yeah, that sounds awful. Just like being in there, I would need to go with someone with a child.
Yeah,
I need to go with some of my parent friends because being in there as adults, just in the first place, seems so awkward to me. Just adults.
You guys are both super, super tall,
and we're tall. So, and one of us.
Maybe you can take
picked.
Bailey, but I think Bailey doesn't like it either.
Okay. Well, all right.
All right. Maybe not. Maybe you'll continue to not be able to do this.
Yeah, maybe one day.
One day.
Yeah. All right. I'll get rid of this one. I don't think I'm ever gonna get on one of these Dumbo clone type rides ever again. Magic carpets, Aladdin's magic carpets, Triceratops spin, or probably Dumbo, or even Astro Blasters.
Oh,
is that what that's called?
Yeah, no. That's the Buzz Lightyear.
Astro Orbiter. Astro Orbiter. I'm not doing any of that.
Okay.
I'm not getting in one of those spoke things where it takes you around and you fly. I've done them plenty, and they're all exactly the same. My advice for people on these is pretty much, if you're going to do one, to do Dumbo, because not only is it the original, but it's also the Walt Disney World original, but it's also it has the coolest line, the coolest queue, literally and figuratively, because it is like a themed indoor circus type of waiting area, and there's air conditioning, and they like call you when you're ready to ride the ride, and that to me is a much more luxurious situation than waiting in the sun for any of the clones.
So, oh my gosh. And that's how it used to be for Dumbo. It was absolutely horrific.
Yeah, Dumbo used to be in the middle of Fantasyland, behind the carousel, which is crazy to think about how congested it used to be over there. It still is.
Yeah. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was even worse before. But now there are two. They
Mhm.
cloned the ride basically to increase the occupancy, and they really helped the queue situation. So if you're going to do one of them, do Dumbo. But apart from that, I don't think I can recommend any of them. I actually wish they would get rid of the Aladdin one altogether to help the congestion of the Adventureland area. I know it helps to eat people, as we say. It helps that people ride it and gets them out of other things. But it doesn't hold that many people to begin with. And I think we'd be better off not having so many versions of the same thing, especially since Dumbo and Aladdin are in the same park.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and we get that kids like these rides, and yeah, like you said, the Dumbo one makes a lot of sense. The other two, not so much. Triceratops spin is probably going away. I mean, definitely going away. All the dinosaur stuff is going away.
Right.
I doubt they would put something similar in there. I think they're probably done with those, which is good. I don't think you're going to get your wish about Aladdin.
No, I don't think so either. I would be really shocked actually if they ever do take it away. But
this has gotten to the point where it feels like something they could put in Disney Springs for like free or like for $5. You know what I mean?
Nice.
It would be nice, yeah.
That would be great, actually.
Like a better version of a carousel ride.
Yeah. I would like that. They should do that. If they're gonna put anything in Disney Springs, it might as well be one of those like flat rides.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because they can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why not?
Right.
Kids would love it.
Yeah, true.
People would buy a popsicle and wait in line. You know?
Yeah. All right. My next one is very personal because I know a lot of people would want to do this. And I'm not the kind of person that would want to go to Times Square on New Year's, which is why I'm not the kind of person that's going to do the fireworks show on a major holiday ever again.
Oh.
From the middle of Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah. I will seek out alternate viewing spots.
Sure.
Probably yearly for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like outside resort viewing.
Yeah.
Trying to be creative. But I'm not doing this like in the middle of the biggest crowd of the year to try to watch something I'm not going to be able to see because it's a specific holiday. When Disney does fireworks every day, I don't need to be there because it's the 4th of July or because it's New Year's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get that. I hate that crowd situation.
It seems, I know it's not dangerous. I mean, I know like it hasn't been dangerous. It feels dangerous to me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that's
or it's uncomfortable.
It's certainly enough to inspire anxiety. And that's what it does for me, is it's just the thought of that many people trying to get the same place in such a like stampede-ish mindset. It's enough to make me not want to be there. So I totally get that.
And being in the same place for potentially hours, like holding your spot and surrounded like arm to arm with strangers, everybody's sweaty.
These are the memories that are best kept on a once in a lifetime basis. And now we've done
them.
This. Yeah. New Year's, 4th of July.
Yeah.
Christmas.
I have. Yep.
It's over. I'm done with it. I'd much rather be, like you said, at a resort or merely watching a live stream or something than like in the middle of that crowd.
Going and celebrating the same event another night.
Oh, I love
you know
to do that. Yeah, that's nice.
I can trick myself into thinking New Year's was, 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Or 2 days from now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, it used to be even easier, the Pleasure Island of it all.
Yes, true. I will say that they do some specialty things on these nights. Like on New Year's, they do numbers in the sky that count down, which is cool. But you can see it from even like the Ticket and Transportation Center.
Right.
Without standing in the middle of a crowd for hours and hours. Actually, you even if you wanted to go to Magic Kingdom but not stand in the middle of that crowd, you can see those fireworks. You just can't see the projections on the castle.
Which is, in my opinion,
for me, fine. I'm not so into the projections on the castle anymore that I need to do it yearly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about Epcot? Because they're known for doing a 4th of July.
They are.
And New Year's.
Do they do a New Year's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew about the 4th of July one. See, and I feel like I would try to watch it from the bridge, going back to Boardwalk.
Mm-hmm.
But
That sounds nice.
the crowds are less intense, in my opinion, at Epcot than they are in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
In Magic Kingdom, it seems so funneled to that one street and the one hub area. You know what I mean? It's like,
and it's not like it's the widest fairway for them to go through anyway. It can be pretty cramped.
Yeah.
And Epcot also has the luxury of having 2 entrances and exits.
Exactly.
Not everybody knows that situation maybe, but the people who do know exiting one way and everybody else exiting back towards Spaceship Earth, maybe that helps with the crowd a little bit at the end of the night as well. But yeah, I hear you. The Magic Kingdom is definitely worse.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Magic Kingdom, I'm never riding the Tomorrowland Speedway.
It's one of the last ones left on my list.
Yeah. I knew this would be on your list as well.
Yeah.
And did you see the announcement that in Disneyland they're making them electric?
I did.
How does that make you feel about our gas guzzling version?
Don't you think we'll be there in a few years? We hit a few years after California.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We've been asking
for
this. It's been on our Christmas list for as long as we've known each other.
Yeah.
We've been complaining about this. We just hate the exhaust smell of the Tomorrowland Speedway. That's enough to keep us away in the beginning. It is very loud over there, which I know is not a big deal to a lot of people. But for me, just not my favorite. Also, entirely outdoors. You wait outdoors, you ride the ride outdoors, everything is in the direct Florida.
Some jerk might bump into you. You know, you finally get up there and there's bumping.
There's bumping.
You're going like 3 miles per hour on a
sometimes
track.
You're stopped and somebody bumps you because you're at the end and you have to like pull into the thing and somebody bumps you. Yeah, I forgot about the bumping, to be honest. That's just another reason why I don't think. Even if they do make it electric, I don't know if I would be thrilled to ride this again.
No, but you'll be okay with walking by it.
I would much prefer to walk by it if it was electric, definitely.
So we went for the Christmas party a few years ago, and I did go on it because they had put a ton of Christmas lights up in there.
And that was cool to see.
It was cool to see. It still wasn't a great experience. And I'm Christmas obsessed, Christmas light obsessed.
Because you could just see the Christmas lights from outside the attraction, and it would be fun.
Yes. My brother does love this attraction.
Really?
He loves it. Yeah.
Is that because of like is it like a Disneyland Autopia type of thing, or is it just like he likes driving the cars? Just in general.
You know, it's funny. I feel like I should have gotten into the psychology with him of why he likes this. But I was kind of embarrassed that I had been so mean about how much I hate it. And then he's like, I love that ride. But he and his wife live in downtown. Like, they've always lived in downtowns. They're about to move to downtown New York City. So they don't drive.
Okay.
I'm guessing that has to do with it.
Okay, so there's some like novelty built in.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Hey, I can get that.
I think that it always for him, the things that he loved break down to nostalgia. So it's got to be partially that too.
Okay.
We did go on this a lot when we were kids.
Yeah, me too. It was called the Grand Prix or something.
Yeah, Grand Prix Raceway, I think.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a little bit that. I don't have spectacular memories of going on this when I was a kid, but
I know it's some kids' first chance to like drive a car.
Yeah.
And that's like exciting for them. I don't think I ever liked this. Even as a kid, I don't think I liked it.
Right.
Because of the same reasons I don't like it now. It's very loud. I don't like the smell, and you're in the direct sunlight.
Yeah. Hey,
and that's
those are good reasons.
Yeah. If it's electric, maybe they'll get rid of the smell.
Yeah. All electric, right? That wasn't like partially electric.
I think Disneyland, they're going all electric. I would love to see that happen here.
Mm-hmm, me too.
Yeah.
It'll be weird to not smell that smell.
I know, it's almost like we're gonna be like missing out on like the sense.
They're gonna pump in gasoline smell just so that we don't feel weird.
What do they call those? Like smellitizer or something? The scents they pump in on like Main Street and stuff. They're gonna have one for
yeah. Car exhaust.
Car exhaust.
Ugh.
Perfect. Magic Candle Company. Car exhaust.
Yeah.
All right. Tomorrowland Speedway. I'm not doing
Tomorrowland
it
Speedway.
again.
Okay. My last one's not worth saying, so I'm gonna wrap with that.
Okay.
Do you have more?
Yeah, I have 2.
Okay, well, let's hear them.
Alien Swirling Saucers. I'm not doing
I
that
actually
again.
had that on my list.
Really?
And I took it off because I had way more than 10 on my list, and it's not that bad. I'm just not going to wait in line for it.
Yeah, it's not
If I
that
could
bad.
walk on it, I might do it. So then that's what made me think, well, maybe this shouldn't be on there then.
Yeah, the reason
if you could walk on it, would you walk on it?
That's actually the reason I put it on here, is because I recently had the opportunity to walk onto this, and we still decided not to go. So that's how you know.
That's how you know.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
There's also
I would walk on it.
Other versions of it. There's like a Baymax one in Japan or something, I think. Not that really has anything to do with anything.
There's a Cars themed one in Disneyland.
Oh, right. There's also one like right here. Okay, I have one more.
Okay.
I can't believe this is
Wait, why didn't you go on it when you could walk on it?
I just don't think it's that fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
It's just whatever.
Okay.
I actually do like the music. I think there's some like cool arrangements. Like they've got like a robot version of You've Got a Friend in Me that they play in there. I think those are fun. But the actual ride experience is it's not like charming in like a teacups kind of way where you're spinning around and that can be kind of fun. It just doesn't do anything for me.
Okay. Okay. Fair. Yeah, I would do it if I was walk on. It just isn't. It's like most of the time 45 minutes or more, and I don't get it.
Is the other one that you had on your list that you didn't say Monsters and Cloth Floor?
Yeah.
Okay. We have covered this territory quite a bit. It's just audience participation.
I don't like audience participation. I realize though, and this is part of the reason I took it off, is I think I'm in a minority with that.
You think?
I think
I have some friends, not you, who are the same way. Who don't want to be called on, hide their faces.
Yeah, and one of my 2 siblings is like that.
Okay,
so the 2 out of 3 of us in my family are like that.
I don't think it's that uncommon. I think a lot of people don't want to be like singled out in that kind of way. But even more than that, I think the show is stale. I think it's dated. I think it needs to go. Like, it's not only putting people on the spot in a way that they might not appreciate. They picked me last time. We went one time. Morgan and I went one time, and they put me on the screen, and I didn't like it, but I'm not as like adverse to that as Morgan or a bunch of other people. And I still just didn't have a good time because I thought that if you've done it once, despite the fact that the jokes can be changed, I feel like if you've done it once, you've done it a million times. You never need to do it again.
The time before I went with you, we went to cover it because this is what we do for a living. But the time before that I went with you, that would have been my one and done if we didn't do it for you guys. They picked one of the people they picked. They were making fun of him for being bald, and they wouldn't let, like, it was just on and on. I just felt so bad for this guy. Like, probably he's fine with it and thought it was funny, but like, what if he didn't?
Yeah, that would feel bad, I would think.
Ugh.
Yeah, I could definitely. I just think that's not the brand that Disney has built.
It's not just that I don't want to be made fun of. I also just feel terrible for other people when they're being made fun of. So
I'm not gonna laugh at that guy.
Yes, I'm having a terrible time
bullying people.
Empathizing with somebody being bullied. I don't get it.
It's like you're being told to join in on the bullying.
Yeah.
It is weird vibes in there. Yeah. Anyway, I think you get the point. There's just some stuff that isn't worth doing again for us.
Yeah.
Simple enough. Luckily, there are so many things in all of the parks that we love to experience.
Yeah, this was such a small percentage of what you can experience at Walt Disney World, and we just thought we would have a fun and funny time talking about this.
Yeah,
and it was really funny.
It was. There's like a lot of stuff on here that overlapped and some stuff that we hadn't thought of from the other, so it's kind of fun. I also feel like we could do stuff we could do all day. or stuff we could do a million times.
Oh, yeah.
Because there is some stuff that we do basically every time we go.
Yes.
So maybe we'll do that in the future.
Yeah. We should have a part repeatable. 2. Yes.
Yeah.
There are some rides that if I could just go, like, not get back in line and just do over and over, I would do for hours.
You know what?
Literal
that used
hours.
to be a thing with?
Yeah, TTA, yeah, Wedway, yes. I did that. I used to do that frequently. And that's one. That would be one.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
We won't give any more away.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you would like to hear that episode in our future episodes, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
The YouTube channel or the show if you're listening on a listening platform like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And hey, if you want to see more of us, you can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, at Neverland Navco, and there you can find things like trivia, shopping, dining, character stuff, all the magic of Walt Disney World. Yeah, updates on the newest stuff. Come along for some Disney adventures with us on socials. We would love to see you there.
Absolutely. We also have an Etsy shop called Neverland Navigation where you can get custom shirts, custom Disney trip shirts, custom other park or whatever trip shirts. And it's not cookie cutter, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'll make them however you want them. Or if you want to send me a message and say, hey, my spouse or my significant other birthday's coming up and their favorite ride is this, this, and this, I will send you some options and you can get them a super awesome shirt.
All right. Very cool. Well, hey.
Or you can get them free by having a trip, letting me help plan your trip.
If you want some shirts, but you're also thinking about taking a vacation,
you might as well get them for free.
You might as well do the bundle situation.
Yeah, and then you would just email me at neverlandnavigationco@gmail.com.
Perfect. Absolutely. All right, Morgan. Well, until our next lap around the Tomorrowland Speedway, we will see you
on our next adventure.
Goodbye.